ओम पार्थाय प्रतिबोधितां भगवता नारायणेन स्वयं व्यासेन ग्रथितां पुराणमुनिना मध्ये महाभारतम् अद्वैतामृतवर्षिणीं भगवतीम् अष्टादशाध्यायिनीम् अम्ब त्वामनुसन्दधामि भगवद्गीते भवद्वेषिणीम्। नमोस्तुते व्यासविशालबुद्धे फुल्लारविन्दायतपत्रनेत्र येन त्वया भारततैलपूर्णः प्रज्वालितो ज्ञानमयः प्रदीपः। सर्वोपनिषदो गावो दोग्धा गोपालनन्दनः पार्थो वत्सः सुधीर्भोक्ता दुग्धं गीतामृतं महत्। वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुम्। Most of us dream about being great and complain that greatness eludes us. But if we look deeper, we will realize that we are scared of greatness in a lot of cases. We are afraid of our own greatest possibility. We are afraid of letting our own inner light shine through, because that entails standing up for ourselves and being the best that we can be and making a difference in the world. The case in point here is the story of a great warrior by the name of Arjuna. Before we go into the dilemma of the Arjuna, the great warrior Arjuna, let us look at the background briefly. There was a great lineage of kings in ancient India called Chandravamsa, and in this great lineage of kings, at one time the king had 3 sons. Now, the royal tradition is that the eldest of the sons should be made the next king. He will become the prince first, and then eventually he will succeed to the throne. But now, unfortunately, it so happens that the eldest son happens to be born blind. So, the royal tradition is that if the eldest son is not perfect, he is impaired in any way physically, then the next son should be inheriting the throne. So, accordingly, when the king passes away, the elders of the family get together and they make the second brother as the king. The first son, who is born blind, his name is Dhritarashtra, and the second son is called Pandu, and the third son is called Vidura. The third son, Vidura, who is very sagacious, he is made as the prime minister. So, it is Dhritarashtra who is the eldest and born blind, and the second brother Pandu who has been made the king, and the third brother Vidura who is the prime minister and the strategist behind running the kingdom, etc. Now, it so happens that unfortunately Pandu passes away at a very young age, leaving his widow and 5 sons behind. The blind king, the blind son, that is the eldest son of the king, Dhritarashtra, has 100 sons, and the third brother, who is Vidura, is more kind of a semi-retired person, so he does not have any children. So, according to the royal tradition, when Pandu passes away, what they do is they appoint the eldest of Pandu's sons, a guy by the name of Yudhishthira, as the prince. He is going to inherit the kingdom eventually, but in the interim they put Yudhishthira as the king to help Dharmaraja or Yudhishthira lead the kingdom and learn all the arts and the science of politicking and managing a nation. Now, in our story, these 5 brothers are going to be the positive forces, the heroes, so to speak, and the 100 sons of Dhritarashtra are the negative forces or the villains, if we may label them like that. The eldest son of Pandu, a guy by the name of Yudhishthira, was also actually given the title of Dharmaraja, which means in Sanskrit the king of dharma. He was given that title because under all circumstances he was known to adhere to dharma, to adhere to truthfulness, to be unbiased no matter what the circumstances are. And the middle one in these 5 brothers is the great warrior by the name of Arjuna, who is going to be the focal point of our story today. Now, it so happens that right from childhood, the 100 children of Dhritarashtra, the blind brother, hate the 5 cousins, the sons of Pandu, with all their heart and then some. So, right from childhood onwards, they try every trick in the book to kill the 5 sons of Pandu. They try to poison them, they try to put fire to the home where these Pandu's sons were living, they try to drown them in water, you name it, and they tried the trick. But luckily for the sons of Pandu, who are called Pandavas as a group, the elders of the family have always been protective of them. So, no matter what the 100 sons of Dhritarashtra try, the 5 Pandavas are always protected by the elders of the family. The eldest of the 100 sons of Dhritarashtra is called Duryodhana, which in Sanskrit means someone difficult to conquer, someone difficult to master, someone difficult to vanquish. Now, the 100 sons of Dhritarashtra are pretty greedy. They know that they are not the rightful owners of the kingdom, but still they want to possess the kingdom. They want to be the next, Duryodhana especially wants to be the next king. So, right from childhood there is always differences of opinion, there is family feuding and squabbles, and then they grow up like that. But eventually things get pulled to such a situation that Duryodhana refuses to part with the kingdom in favor of Dharmaraja or Yudhishthira. So, the 5 brothers who are actually the rightful owners, the heirs apparent of the kingdom, in order to avoid a battle and the bloodshed that is involved, they try to cut some deal with them, negotiate with them. Hey, if you don't want to give us the whole kingdom, no problem, just give us maybe at least 5 villages, because we are also of the royal blood. We need to be king. We can't go back to being normal people and go back to a commoner's lifestyle. But Duryodhana is so greedy that he refuses to part even with an inch of the kingdom. That means he is trying to usurp basically the kingdom belonging to the sons of Pandu, the Pandavas. Now, ultimately things go so bad that they have to come together to fight a battle for the kingdom. So, the 100 sons of Dhritarashtra on one side led by Duryodhana, and the 5 sons of Pandu, the other brother, on the other side, and heralded by our great warrior Arjuna. Now, both the sides have a common relative by the name of Krishna, who is a very wise man. They both request him to be on their side, but Krishna says, hey, as it is, you are cousins, you should not be fighting this battle at all. So, do not get me involved into this battle. I am not going to touch a weapon, I am not going to lift a finger, I am not going to kill a person, right. But I can be your advisor if you are interested in that. But Duryodhana is not interested in having Krishna merely as an advisor. But Arjuna, who is greatly fond of Krishna, agrees to have Krishna as his advisor, and in fact requests him to be his charioteer when the battle takes place. Now, this is a different kind of battle. This happened around 6,000 or so years ago, and it is a different kind of battle than the battle that we see today. Here they will fix a place which will be designated as the battleground, and both the forces, only male and those who are trained to be warriors, will assemble there. In other words, they make sure that civilians do not get injured in the battle, or children, women, old people, senior citizens, none of them get injured, and there is no civilian damage because of the war. So, that is the kind of righteous battle that they plan and fight in those days. So, both the forces have assembled in this battlefield, which is a place called Kurukshetra, and they are ready to fight the battle of their lives for this kingdom. Now, at this point of time, Arjuna asks his charioteer Krishna to drive his chariot and park it in between both the great armies, so that he can look at both the armies and get an idea about the size of the armies, etc. Krishna complies with his wish. So, imagine the situation where there is the forces of evil, which is a larger enemy actually, larger army, and there is the forces of good and righteousness, which is a smaller army, considerably smaller army in fact, but Arjuna and Krishna standing right in between them and staring at both the forces in the face. At this point of time, Arjuna entertains doubts about this war, not about his ability, but if this is a war that should be fought. And it is a very appropriate question. Like, imagine a Supreme Court judge going to work, and he realizes that the first case that he is going to try is his own son. The accused is his own son. So, at that point of time, what is the judge going to do? Should he be letting his son go off easily just because he is related to him, he is his blood relative, or should he say, hey, whether the accused is a third party or a relative or a friend of mine, my job here is to make sure that the justice is served, that the justice is upheld, that righteousness prevails. So, let me do my job with that sense of detachment and make sure that justice prevails here. Because it is not a simple decision, it is not like thinking about should I have Indian food tonight or should I have Italian food for dinner, right. This is a very complicated decision for Arjuna, because on one hand he is being pulled by the emotional forces that he is going to fight his own brethren, his own kith and kin, and on the other hand there is a sense of duty that he should be fighting for the righteousness to prevail, he should be fighting for justice to be upheld, he should be fighting to make a difference in the world. So, when Arjuna is in this kind of a confusion, he requests Krishna to advise him, to guide him and to show him the path and to teach him what he should be doing. Now, coming back to the text of this wonderful scripture called BhagavadGita, the first verse of the scripture starts as Dhritarashtra Uvacha Dharmakshetre Kurukshetre Samaveta Yuyutsavaha Mamakaha Pandavaschaiva Kimakurvata Sanjaya. Here what is happening is Dhritarashtra, the blind interim king, is asking a messenger called Sanjaya, saying, in the Kurukshetra, which is the name of the battlefield and which is also being described here as Dharmakshetra, where Dharma is going to prevail, Samaveta Yuyutsavaha, they have assembled for a battle. And who have assembled for the battle? Mamakaha means my children, my 100 sons, and Pandavaschaiva, the 5 sons of Pandu. And having assembled for a battle, what happened? What did they do? That is the question here Dhritarashtra is asking. And if you look at the verse itself, the first word of the verse is Dharma, Dharmakshetre, Kurukshetre. And if we look at, for a time being, if we jump to the last verse of the text and we look at the last verse runs like this: Yatra Yogeshwaraha Krishno, Yatra Partho Dhanurtaraha, Tatra Srir Vijayo Bhutir Dhruvanitir Matir Mama. The last word of the text is Mama. Mama means my in Sanskrit. So, the first word is Dharma, the last word is Mama. If you take those two words and rearrange them, it becomes my Dharma, right? My Dharma. What is my Dharma? What are the special gifts that I have been blessed with that I need to share with the rest of the mankind? What is the purpose of my life? Why am I put on this earth? This is the entire discussion behind this great scripture, this great ancient text called BhagavadGita. Now, if we come back to the first verse again, Dharma, Kshetre, Kuru, Kshetre. Those are the first 4 words of the verse. If you take those words again and rearrange them a little bit, it becomes Kshetre, Kshetre, Dharma, Kuru. Kshetra, among other things, means a place in Sanskrit. So, Kshetre, Kshetre means place to place. Dharma, Kuru. Kuru means do in Sanskrit, like an imperative sense of do. So, in other words, the teaching of the text is Kshetre, Kshetre, Dharma, Kuru, means place to place, do your dharma. Every moment of your life, do your dharma. Every second of your life, follow your dharma. Under every circumstances, follow your dharma. That is the beautiful teaching of this great scripture, BhagavadGita. Now, here coming back to our story, when Arjuna asks Krishna what he should be doing, whether he should be fighting this battle or should he be walking away because it is his own relatives, let them enjoy the kingdom. So, Arjuna says, Nakankshe Vijayam Krishna, Nacharajyam Sukhanicha, means Nakankshe Vijayam Krishna, Krishna, I do not want success in this battle, because this is going to be a Pyrrhic battle. The cost of winning this battle is the same as losing the battle. So, I do not want this battle. Nacharajyam Sukhanicha, I do not want the kingdom and I do not want any pleasures that come with this battle as a result of this battle. But now, Krishna has to guide him properly. Krishna has to let Arjuna see the light properly. So, the first thing that Krishna teaches as part of disillusioning Arjuna is that to see everything as a reflection of the infinite Brahman, the universal consciousness. Krishna says to Arjuna that when you talk about a person, do not see that person as someone with flesh and blood. It's not a body we are talking about here. We should look at everything as the infinite, immortal, divine soul. So Krishna says here, Nainam chindanti shastrani, nainam dahati pavakaha, na chainam kledayanti na soshayati marutaha. We are all these beautiful divine souls. Nainam chindanti shastrani, the soul cannot be hurt by any kind of weapon. Nainam dahati pavakaha, the fire cannot burn the soul. Similarly, water cannot wet the soul. The soul is eternal. We should look at it that way, and we should realize our own greatness. We should realize our own immortality, so that we do not entertain even the slightest of doubts about our own greatness, about our own divinity, about our own potential, about our own responsibility and our own gifts in this world. Another principle, beautiful principle that Krishna teaches Arjuna here is Swadharma pichavekshya na vikampitum arhasi. So what Krishna is saying here is we should never shy away from our duty. If I am a teacher, let me be the best teacher in the world. If I am an artist, let me strive to be the best artist in the world. If I am a soldier, let me be the best soldier in the world. That should be our attitude towards life. That should be our approach to our work and our life. Incidentally, as part of this teaching, Krishna teaches and proposes yoga as the best way to attain and live our best life and be our best selves. Here, yoga does not imply just postures, but Krishna talks about all the classical approaches of yoga, such as Jnana Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, Karma Yoga, and Raja Yoga, and all these things. One of the beautiful things that Krishna teaches Arjuna here is Uddhared Atmanatmanam Natmanam Avasadayet Atmaiva Bandhuratmanaha Atmaiva Ripuratmanaha. Means Uddhared Atmanatmanam means one should uplift oneself. One should never pull oneself down. In life, we come across a lot of people who are always writing negative scripting to themselves. Oh, I can never be a great singer. Oh, I can never be a great athlete. Oh, I can never do this as well as that guy. Oh, I can never do this as well as that guy. Right? We should stop all this kind of negative scripting. That inner critic needs to be carefully managed by all of us. This is the teaching of Krishna for us. Atmaiva bandhuratmanaha atmaiva ripuratmanaha means one is one's own best friend and one is one's own worst enemy also. So that's where the intelligence of the choice lies. Do I choose to be my friend every minute of my life, every second of my life, in every decision that I take, or do I choose to be inimical to my own interests? And along the way, Krishna gives beautiful definitions to the term, to the word yoga for the benefit of Arjuna. One of the definitions that Krishna offers here is Yogaha karmasu kaushalam. Yogaha karmasu kaushalam means excellence at one's work is yoga. In other words, yoga is not just about bending our body this way, that way and the other way, or yoga is not necessarily meant for people who are going to sit in forests or in a cave and then meditate forever. Yoga is for the daily man. Yoga helps us fight all the diurnal battles that we fight and yet rise above them and attain the greatness that we are all inherently capable of attaining. Not only that, Krishna says that karmanye vadhikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana ma karma phala heturbhuhu mate sangostva karmani means Krishna is advising us here to focus on our work and not lose our focus by thinking too much about the fruits of the work or about the results of the work. The idea is if we take care of the roots properly, if we water the roots properly and protect them properly, the fruits will take care of themselves. We don't need to worry about the fruits, we need to worry about the roots. That is, between the cause and the effect, our focus should be on the cause, because the effect will take care of itself. And in this context, Krishna also says, Samatvam yoga uchyate means jaya jayav in success as well as in failure, labha labhav in profit as well as in loss. Samatvam yoga uchyate. To maintain an equanimous state of mind is considered as highest yoga by Krishna. Like this, Krishna, in order to inspire Arjuna, says a lot of beautiful principles like this and tries to inspire him, tries to disillusion him and make him see the light, make him see what his proper duty should be, make him choose what he should be doing at this point of, at this critical juncture of this battle. Now again, coming back to the last verse of the Gita, it summarizes the entire essence of Gita beautifully. Yatra Yogeshwaraha Krishno Yatra Partho Dhanurtharaha Tatra Srir Vijayo Bhutir Dhruvanitir Matirmama means, literally the verse means, where there is Krishna, the Lord of Yoga, and where there is Arjuna, the wielder of the great bow, definitely success and wealth will be there. But if you look at this a little bit closely and we try to understand the inner meaning of this, Yatra Yogeshwaraha Krishno, where there is Krishna, mean where there is yoga, where there is knowledge, and Yatra Partho Dhanurdharaha, where action is coupled with the knowledge. In other words, it's not enough to know, it's not enough to dream, we have to act on those dreams. Then life will bless us with success. Then we will be able to be our best selves. Then we will be able to lead our most fulfilling lives, our most fulfilling dreams. Again, to summarize the teaching of Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, Tasmatvam uttishta yasho labhasva, means therefore stand up and acquire the glory you deserve. So, having taught all these great principles about yoga and the art of living, so to speak, Krishna ultimately leaves the decision to Arjuna. Krishna doesn't say, okay, I am telling you fight, or I am telling you don't fight. Krishna says that iti te jnanamakyatam guhyat guhyataram maya vimrusyaita daseshena yadhechasi tathakuru. So, what Krishna is saying is, I have taught you all that there is to be taught. I have taught you every principle that is there to be taught, and I have tried to show you the path along which you should be walking. Now, think about what I said to you and do what you would like to do, what you want to do. Now, it is up to Arjuna. In other words, there is always that sense of responsibility, individual responsibility, right. So, Arjuna, as the warrior who has to actually fight the battle, tells Krishna that thanks to you and your teachings, my illusion is destroyed. Now I know what should be my proper kartavya. There is a beautiful word here in Sanskrit called kartavya, means a sense of duty, a sense of dharma, a sense of righteousness. All these things are combined in this beautiful word called kartavya. So he says, now I realize what my kartavya is. Now I realize what my greatest gift is. Now I realize the purpose for which I was put on this planet. And I do decide to go ahead with the battle because I need to make a difference in the world.